Well, welcome everybody to another stream with Luke Plays to Earn. We got a special show, kind of an experiment. We'll see how it goes today, and if it goes well, maybe we'll continue doing it, called NFT Gaming Roast, and I'll explain it here in a second. But first, I gotta welcome our guest, one of the amazing Krill Crew game researchers. So, Tasty Gamer, is that what we're calling you today, or do you want to go by something else?
Yeah, we'll do Tasty Gamer.
Tasty, well, you gotta explain the name. I mean, where did Tasty Gamer come from?
Of course. So, actually, me and my friends, all of us on PlayStation, all of our names start with Tasty, and I used to be Tasty McNugget, but I tried making a YouTube channel for gaming and stuff. Try looking up Tasty McNugget on YouTube. The algorithm beats you with McDonald's every time. So I went to Gamer Boy because
You know,
I mean,
maybe
I'm
there's
a
an
gamer.
NFT game coming out, like McDonald's based. I mean, why not?
Oh,
So
yeah,
it could
no,
work
I
out
might switch
perfect.
back. Might switch back. might switch back. But yeah, no, that's really where Tasty came from. And then just Gamer Boys, I'm just a gamer, and it worked, and it
Gotcha.
wasn't taken, thankfully.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here today. The point of this show is it's called NFT Gaming Roast, and the whole point of the show is I think really, and I don't know if you've experienced this, but I think, you know, especially during the bull market a couple months ago, everyone was just so crazy and bullish literally on every single game. It was like you could invest in an NFT of a white paper that was half finished. The gameplay wasn't even explained what it was, and you could buy an NFT and then, you know, 3 weeks later flip it for a 10x, right? It's just like, wow, that's insane. And I think now that we're hitting a bear market, people are realizing, okay, that's probably not going to be the case every single time now. And I think the point of this show, you know, a roast, if you're not from America, it can be kind of like this thing where you get up and you make funny jokes. They're kind of cutting. They're kind of a little bit mean. You know, you kind of roast someone in a sense, and it's usually in a negative way. So, you know, we're not trying to just trash projects for the trashing of project's sake, but more so like, how do we actually be critical? How do we ask tough questions of these projects? Because we're putting real money, we're putting real investments, whether it's your fiat, whether it's your crypto, into these games. And there's so many projects coming out. And then on the flip side, you know, just like the image above here, if you're watching on the stream, it's a roast. You know, sometimes there's like a nice Thanksgiving roast, and you just enjoy it with your family, and it's something to, you know, be enjoyed, right? So it could be that we're praising these games. I don't know, Tasty Gamer, are you much of a turkey lover?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I'm a big. Well, it depends. It's the dark meat. I don't like the dry turkey.
Okay.
Can't be dry.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, no dry gaming roasts here. only the juicy projects. I don't know how to relate that back. I'm
The
sorry.
tasty ones.
I tried.
The tasty ones.
I really tried. So we're gonna test out this show. It is going to be, I'm hoping to bring on actual projects and get to interview some of the team. One project that I wanted to get on, it kind of fell through at the last minute, so I was hoping to get them on and Tasty Gamer, but luckily Tasty Gamer jumped in here, so we're gonna kick off the stream. But at the same time, I also have on Discord, I don't know how well you guys can see it, maybe I'll make the monitor big here. There is a channel at the bottom of our Discord if you want to join our Discord. If you're not in there yet, I realize the screen is probably being blocked as well. So let me just go full screen. What you can do here is, if you want to write your take here in the talk show call-ins, you can actually join the show later on after Tasty and I have reviewed a couple projects together. You can write whatever take you want. It could be Axie Infinity, while it's, you know, garbage right now, is going to be still the biggest play to earn game of all time. Or you can go in there and you can say, hey, you know, Pegaxy was way overrated and it's gonna fall to pieces. Like, whatever you want to say, whatever your take is, write it in there. Put yourself in the waiting lobby VC. That will not be on stream, and then you can see I have a private channel, the live stream voice, where I can pull you in to the stream later on if you want to talk about a project, and if whether that's to shill it or to, you know, give your hot take of why it's not going to work out. We'd love to have a discussion based essentially show and podcast here as we get going. So as people are putting in their takes, first we're going to go over and talk about one of the games I'm really interested to hear specifically from Tasty Gamer, because you're the one I actually heard about this game from. You've been super bullish on it. You've been talking it up for a while here in the Game Researchers, even though the team is a little bit new for the Krill Crew. So walk me through, just first of all, like, what is Tiny Colony and what speaks out to you about it? Like, why are you so interested in this project?
So what really honestly like spoke out to me when I saw it at first was their idea of making more game modes, because you know, with Splinterlands, any Axie Infinity, you always run into just getting bored. You're doing the same thing, and they want to add in, you know, they got their lands that they dropped, and they want to have it to where it's like Fallout Shelter. If anyone's played it, you know, create your colony, your shelter, whatever it is, and you want to make sure it's nice and efficient, which they've been talking about a lot, is they want to make sure people are making their colonies happy. They say happy. It's going to be an interesting thing to me, because it's going to add a burn mechanic to it, I feel, because they talk about right now, which I'm really excited about, holders right now. So anyone watching, if you have a nest colony or anything, you can get verified on their Discord, and coming March, they're going to drop pets to holders. And this is what they're trying to provide, set of benefit for holding their NFT while you wait for the game. So they're going to be dropping more things. They said they're going to drop items like potions and stuff, characters, weapons, like different things. And it depends on your rarity. So people that spent 25 souls, so like over like $2,000 on one colony, they get the legendary stuff. And I guess it makes sense because they put more money into the project, and I guess that adds a benefit for the more like big capital investors. But krills like us, we got to go entry level, which I don't know if you can get to it. If you go to their deck, actually no, scroll down.
Yeah, is there? I know that there is like a white paper or something, right?
Yeah, so if you click deck up in the corner, actually.
Oh, here we go. You're right.
Yep. It'll perfect. It's a little delayed, so I might not see.
Yeah,
but
no worries.
there is a part where they show different colonies and what they do.
Yeah, I'll kind of scroll through as you're talking about. I mean, one thing I wanna hear from you about is, are you someone that actually played Fallout Shelter a lot? We're kind of comparing this game to Fallout
Shelter. Actually, yes, I did
okay.
play Fallout Shelter a lot when it first came out.
I'm curious if you're just like, I'm into this game because it's a blockchain game, or this is like, actually, this is the type of game that I love to play.
This is like a type of game that I would like to play, just because, I mean, I liked so in Fallout Shelter, if you don't keep if you're not familiar with Fallout in general, there's vaults. So you got to keep a vault like happy, and you got to keep your Fallout people nice and happy and everything. And if you don't, raids happen and they just start going crazy, and they start not wanting to work, and what they're going to have as colony is just going to go down in flames, and you have to start back over. So what I think is going to be nice with this is people aren't going to be able to just go in and earn their cryptocurrency, because they're going to have to actually put effort into making sure their colony, vault, whatever you're referring it to like be functionally running, to be able to earn that tiny coin, which I'm surprised it's at 30 cents still.
What did it release at? Do you know?
I think a good couple months ago. It released on Radium and everything. They released it in the IDO for very early investors to kind of just like, I guess you can make the liquidity pool, like if you swap and stuff, you get the staking and everything on that, but I'm not familiar with that kind of stuff. I don't do that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But otherwise, I think it's going to be cool to see what they do for their other game modes, because their gladiator mode they talk about, they're going to have people able to bet on gladiators, and then they're going to have people able to fight in the gladiator mode, which is going to be turn-based. So
is it like you're building up your colony and you go attack someone else's colony, kind of like a Clash of Clans style?
No,
or explain to me the gladiator part of that.
So the gladiator part is they're going to have another set of NFTs, which are going to be also airdropped to the colony holders, and also you can go and buy them off of the market and everything. And certain level ones will be able to participate in this gladiator arena and then fight for what they were saying, because I was talking to the developers actually today to get a little bit more insight on the info and a refresher, because they talk about it in all their AMAs. You can go find it on YouTube and everything. They talk with Fractal developers and everything, and they talk about this stuff, but they don't have it on all their decks and everything. They only have a lot of info on their land, which I think is very unfortunate for people trying to research this. Right. They have to go deep into it, like I've been doing, because I'm a very big research. I got to do my research. I got to know what I'm
right. Well, and that's kind of what I've criticized a lot of projects for, right? It's like you're telling me about all these NFTs, all these land, all these tokens I can buy, and for a lot of these projects, I'm not saying specifically for Tiny Colony, but a lot of the projects is like, I can't even understand what your game is, right? And so it's like, why would I want to buy all your stuff if I'm not even interested in the game? Like, if you can't even get me there, Why am I spending $1,000 on your land? I don't care how much it is or what kind of land you have.
Right. And that's the unfortunate thing with Tiny Colony too, is a lot of people, when they first got into this, they got into it thinking they were going to instantly be able to start playing the game, instantly be able to start earning their cryptocurrency, Tiny, and they started dumping. So honestly, right now everyone says everything's at a discount because everything's below what it originally cost, because people are just dumping out of it, because everyone, like you said, when the bear market was high, everyone thought they could get in a couple weeks, be able to get a huge flip. Right. And now they're realizing, and I realized, because like that's how I was when I first got into this whole thing, because I saw it off of YouTube and I heard from friends, it's like, oh, you buy this digital art and this, and it's like, oh, cool, let's look into this. And then I started realizing after I did my research, because I'm a very knowledge is power. Mm-hmm. It's not a quick flip. It's, if you go long term, you'll make more. You'll make more than all these ones.
Well, and I think that's the thing, right? Is that in all of these things, we really, now that we're in a bear market, we actually have to find games that people want to play. And as you said, I think that's so smart. It's like everyone was getting into projects just to go flip them, right? And so it's like we got to find games that people are actually going to want to play and consistently play, and then we can earn. Then we might have NFTs that raise up in value,
right?
And so I want to get questions from the chat as well. So chat, if you're here. Think about questions for Tiny Colony. Also, Ultimate Gaming, I see your chat there in Discord. We'll pull you in later. But that's what I really want to ask you is like, okay, let's talk about the gameplay. I don't know if you've seen, do they have video footage or something out there that makes us want to play this game? Because, for me, like I played Fallout Shelter for a couple days, like a couple of years ago. It's not like this was like a top game to me. So when you say Fallout Shelter or Tiny Colony says, hey, we're kind of like a Fallout Shelter, I think to a lot of people, maybe they've heard of it, like kind of like me, but don't fully like, hey, here's what the gameplay is, or here's why I should be excited about Fallout Shelter style, NFT game. So what is it about the gameplay that appeals to you for this game from what you've seen so far?
I mean, from what I've seen, they only shown one thing on Twitter, which showed like what a colony would look like if they're mining. But like from what they've said, and like this is what I don't like, like the one thing, like we're talking about criticizing and roasting, one thing I don't like is they don't show a lot of what they've been working on. They've been talking a lot of what they've been working on. You know what I mean? And a lot of people can talk, so like you said, like showing it, like I haven't seen much. I've seen, the characters they've been working on, the animations they got, and like they've been talking about the development ideas, but in ideas of like seeing like a game and like access and stuff, they haven't got that far yet. I think their early access is coming in late March is what they were saying.
Yeah, it looks like as we're going through their Twitter, it looks like, there's definitely some like videos and stuff
project
from
offer a lot of
owners or creators, which is good. Like I'd rather know who the team is and get like voices from them in their videos. I think a lot of projects could do that more often.
They're definitely very big on doing that. They love to talk about like to their community. They want to make it like we're for the community, which I do like. I like a big community based. Yeah, see that was a soundtrack for their Samurai Lands. I mean, they're showing some things, but gameplay wise, I think we're more waiting on iLogos to, provide a steady, solid early access beta for early investors.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is kind of an interesting project. What I've liked about it is that, there's a couple things that, from what I've seen and what you've told me, one, it's on the Solana blockchain, which if you don't know about Solana, there's some disagreements on it being like centralized and all that stuff. But as far as like it's fast and it has low transaction fees, think about even using like Binance Smart Chain, which is one of the biggest play to earn game blockchains right now. Even using that, it's like, okay, if I want to make a transaction, it's usually around 14 to 15 cents in gas fees, which is not incredibly huge compared to things like ETH, right? But it's like for a game, let's say you're doing 20 transactions a week, that's going to add up over time to $5 of your profit or whatever it is that it comes out to be. And so Solana is like, okay, sweet, like every time I use Solana, it's pretty much free. Like every time I've used Solana, it's like, okay, this transaction is like 0.0000001 Solana or something, you know, absolutely ridiculous like that. So I think a game like this, like Fallout Shelter, especially if you need to make a lot of transactions, makes a lot of sense to put on something like Solana. I think it could definitely be successful there if the gameplay is fun. The other thing, you know, obviously we don't know too much about the gameplay yet, as you're saying, like you're waiting for more from the team. But one thing I want to get your opinion on before we jump over to talking about a different game is kind of the art and style behind this game. Are you a fan on some of these? Let me see if I can pull up some of the different things here again. But yeah, looking at these NFTs, looking at their kind of more pixel art, is that something that appeals to you? Because that's one other question I have is like, okay, it's not like it's bad, but it's not like super, you know, popping out to me, I guess, as a player.
Right.
And that's where I'm like, okay, does this game last a long time? You know, does it have the graphics? Does it have the gameplay to really push this project forward? So I don't know. What do you think about the art and just the style of the game in general?
So me personally, I don't mind pixel art, like 8-bit anything. It's honestly not bad. And honestly, if you look at their like pets and Twitter and stuff, like everyone, if you ever want to, they don't look horrible. Like they really don't. Like they're honestly not too bad looking. You know, I think like their first thing is like their pets, you know, like it's not horrible when it comes to 8-bit art, you know. And what I think is cool is if we think long term, is what they were talking in their roadmap is in 2023 and beyond, they want to make the Tinyverse a 3D isometric, like generated MMORPG. I didn't understand the isometric. I honestly don't know what that means, but they were talking about that, and that means people that aren't so fond of pixel art and all that can get into it at that point in time because it'll be developed. They'll have a 3D. I would hope it's not 3D pixel art. That would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
But, you know, like that. But in my opinion, I don't mind the art at all. In comparison to some other 8-bit pixel arts, it's definitely a little bit better looking, in my opinion, too.
Yeah, and you know, and our Faded Glory in the chat says we know Luke isn't a fan of pixel art, and that's not necessarily true. I mean, it's definitely not my go-to, but there are games where I have played, you know, plenty of pixel art games throughout my childhood, even the last few years. I think just more so it's interesting conversation on, especially when you're buying NFTs, because a lot of the pixel art games that I've played and experienced over my years, it's something that you know, it's usually a single player game. You play it, you know, maybe for a few weeks until you beat it, and then you're done, right? And so that's more of my concern with pixel art games, is just thinking through how long are these games potentially going to last? Is it going to draw people in like a lot of these games that we're seeing immediately just because there is gameplay, and then as soon as a game comes back, you know, out that it's similar, that has better graphics, it's a little more engaging, that project just dies. So it's more a worry for me about potential competition down the road than it is on, oh, I hate pixel art games, I never want to play a pixel art game. You know, that's not necessarily what I'm saying either. Right. So
no, but it's exciting. It's exciting. I mean, I think it has potential as long as the team provides. That's all I wanted to say.
Sweet. Well, yeah, thank you for bringing up Tiny Colony, and we have one other game I want to get your opinion on because you've actually been a part of it, and then we'll bring Ultimate Gamer on the stream and get his hot take here coming right up at you. But let's jump over to a game that a lot of people have been talking about. It's always on top of the charts now, whether you look at the coin, whether you look at DAP Radar, and you know, we saw an explosion of it. I want to say especially in January. It's fallen down a bit now, but you were sharing with me that you actually got into Pegaxy through the scholarship program. So talk to us a little bit about that. I want to hear your experience here with it.
2 hours of misery was the experience.
2 hours of misery. There you
go. No, but anyone that would try, honestly, they would know. It's just you click on one of the ones, like, sure, there's 10 of them up there for 10% or whatever it may be, but they don't have a good bot system right now. So you can just like bypass it with bots, and people are just flooding it with bots, and that's what people say in the Discord. I'm in the Discord talking to developers saying this is absurd. Like, why is this
So
like
why are bots getting
acknowledged?
them? Is the gameplay it's literally you just click go and you watch it, right? So a bot can just endlessly hit over and over again because there's no punishment to them. There's no like strategy behind it.
There could be people making accounts like that. They say that they're banning people and stuff, but I'm very curious to see how that works with like them owning the asset. They own the asset in their wallet, so I mean they could ban them from Pegaxy, but they still have the wallet. They just send it to a new wallet, make a new account, boom, you know. So I mean I think it's more of a bot system to get the Pegas. Like, because it's not hard. It costs, Matic is like 0.02, nothing, you know?
Right,
like,
it's not crazy expensive.
So it doesn't cost anything at all to rent these Pegas. And what my experience is right now is when I went to go try and get my first one, I didn't believe it. I was like, nah, I can get one. I see them all the time. Of course I can get one. Couldn't get one. Sat there for a good 30 minutes and finally got one at 5%.
Oh my gosh.
Right? And it had 8.
Yeah.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I mean that's the thing I want to ask you about is actually going out and getting the scholarship and then playing the game.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous that most of these scholarships I see on here, 5 to 10%. Like, are you actually earning anything if you said you got one of these scholarships?
So yeah, I managed to get one. And you think that's a low percent, but if you win, right? So it's about 104 if you win first place, right? So 10%, that's 5 to 10 Viz or Vigorous token.
Which is worth how much right now?
4 cents. Yeah, I have an actual note because I recorded how much I earned. So I managed to get 3. So I guess if you manage to get 3, you can really grind out the energy and everything. 2 of them are at 3% and 1 of them's at 5%, and they're all at about 20 to 25% win rate. I think every horse has the same win rate, so they don't have any skills. Like, you can't get a Pega that wins every race or anything yet. They don't have that in place yet, so they have it balanced.
That's planned down the road. Right.
Yeah, but they do have, well, they'll have skills. They have skills and everything, and they talk about it, but they just, I don't think, have a balanced way to where people that have really bad horses can still earn, you know? But from about the 2 days, I've earned 75 Viz, so about $3, and I only paid about 0.1 Matic, which is about 14 cents.
So you're up. How much time did you have to go in to actually like hit the play the button and play these matches, you think, over those 3 days?
So the way energy works is you recharge 1 every hour. So you get 25. So I got lucky and I got like 8 or 10 with one of my Pegas. So I was able to race just like, and it's like 45 seconds to a minute 30 per race. So maybe an hour, you know, for all of them when they're at like a good 10 energy, you know. And it doesn't, it's just what I've been doing is every hour or every couple hours I've been going back and just racing them and just making them at 0 energy, because what people said in the Discord is if scholarship people go through and see that you have your Pega at like 0 energy, they're more than likely not going to take it back.
Interesting.
So
they can come in and cancel at any time. Is that how that works?
An hour after you get it. An hour after. So an hour after spent an hour.
So you can literally be spamming. You're trying to get these transactions. You're wasting your Matic. You can get one. Maybe if you're lucky, if you beat those bots, and then an hour later, it can just be ripped back from your hands.
Yep.
That does. I'm sorry, but that doesn't make any sense to me. Like,
it really doesn't.
What's the point of a scholarship? That sounds more like a rental. But even for a rental, that sounds pretty brutal. That you can just, at least Splinterlands, you get 24 more hours until it cancels. The fact that it's like an hour.
Exactly, and that's actually what they are considered as renting. You're renting for a share instead of renting for a certain currency, which is weird because they're essentially taking over a scholarship idea and they're trying to make it a thing. But from what I've heard is the managers, like the Pega like team and stuff, they decide on the percentage your Pega is worth share. So I think that's based off of, because I've been winning a couple more times. I think that's why I'm at about 75 viz, because I've been winning a couple extra times with the 3 I have, and they're at really low share percent, which I think is why I've been getting such a low share percent for those, is because they win a little bit more. Or I'm just lucky.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess before we move on, and I'll share some thoughts about Pegaxy, but one of the things that one of my biggest complaints, and I'm not like fully vested into this, I don't have any money, I haven't researched it that fully, but what turned me away was the fact that they don't have really any gameplay out yet. It's literally just, hey, click here, watch if your horse wins, which maybe would be fun for like, maybe you can tell us about your experience, but in my mind, I'm like, okay, that'd be fun maybe like 3 to 5 times, and after that I'm gonna get really bored. And people are like, okay, well, it's kind of like horse racing betting. Like people do that in the real world, but
Right.
but the whole thing about that is like, okay, yes, but they actually train their horses. They actually have to ride the horses. Like there's some skill, there's some talent to it. Whereas Pegaxy, I don't care about my robot thing that I just hit click and go. And then, you know, I know they have gameplay down the road planned, but to me, I just don't think it makes sense. But I don't know, for you, like, have you had any fun, or is this literally I'm just trying to make some money and test it out?
No, it's honestly just testing it out because I've heard about it and stuff, and it seemed interesting. You know, it's definitely just one of those like wax games and stuff. It's just one of those idle games. At least they have a 3D gameplay version where you can look at it, and I hope down the road, because you got a certain speed, you got a certain strength, you got a certain like element, and then if you look at the stadiums have different elements and like wind and everything. So eventually maybe it'll be where you can choose a race, put your horse in there, and hope that like I guess Splinterlands, you know, you put some cards in a position and you hope that the other person, you know, it could end up like that, but it'd still be idle. It'd still be, you're not controlling your horse, which I think what they could do with it is make it a typing thing. You know, those typing games you used to play in school?
I think in their roadmap they have some kind of, it says like controlled based gameplay. So I think they have plans for it. It's just like, how long can they last? Like they had all this hype, and now it feels a little bit like the bubble's been popped, especially in this bear market. So it's like, maybe people are getting into this project to invest for the future, but that's my worry of like, especially just looking at the horses you can see here on the screen. It's like, just a couple of weeks ago, some of these things were selling out for $1,700, and you know, now we're looking at some of these horses going for $400. So potentially, if you got in a couple of weeks ago, you've already lost, you know, 60-70% of your initial investment. So that's where it's like, I'm worried for people that are jumping into this game a little too eager.
And real quick to add, they have 222,222 Pegas now because they introduced the breeding.
Right.
That's why they also
and it
have
sounds
them
like
so
the same
cheap.
exact problem as Axie, right? It's like there's no real mechanism to stop the supply or keep the supply going with the demand. So now that there's less demand and there's more and more supply, it's like, of course they're going to get cheaper.
Right.
So.
Which people say it's a discount, but it's still a 70-day ROI buying them at 300. So.
All right. Well, it's been good talking, and I don't know if you want to stay on for Ultimate Gamer. He's been patiently waiting, but if you want to, you can stay on in the background if you want to throw in some thoughts about Samurai Legends. But I'm going to try to see if I can actually pull in. Let's see if I can do this right, and I'll join in here with Ultimate Gaming. Ultimate Gaming, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sweet. How's it going, Ultimate? What's up?
I'm just watching your stream, man, and you said that someone could join, so I just dropped in.
I was serious, and you are here, so I love how you took me up on it. So yeah, I mean, I see. What was your take? I can read it in the chat, but give us your hot take here.
In terms of what game?
Well, the take that you put on the Discord here, people can't see it, so give us your take.
You know me, I'm more on both of the games that I feature on my channel for Splinterlands and Samurai Legends, and I think Samurai Legends will be huge with the coming update.
Yeah, so we got Samurai Legends here, and I think I saw this update as well. So which update are you talking about? So there's the update where they just show this to me that they're adding duels that are gonna have a ranking system. So before it was just like you lose, you get a little token, and you win, you get some token. Now it's more like Splinterlands where there's actual divisions. You know, the higher you rank up, the higher potential earnings you get, yada yada, right? Leaderboards and all those fun things, which does make the game honestly a little bit more appealing, because that was one of the things that was kind of boring. It's like, okay, I can win matches, but what does it really mean besides I just got some tokens, or I didn't get some, or I guess I got less tokens, right? So is this the update you're referring to, or you're more just talking about the new gameplay that it's supposed to come out in the next month or so?
No, that's it. That's with regards to the coming update. I think that will be huge, because I mean, players who are scholars, I mean, if they have a lot of energy, they're just clicking on battles, and since they want to end the battle fast, they just don't deploy, because literally they'll be gaining INF even if they lose. So having this kind of mode wherein probably I'm thinking the managers will demand a what they call this, a maintaining in terms of a daily, I mean, target basically on a daily earnings if you have a certain energy, and then what they call this, on the rankings there should be depending on the cards and their power, there should be, I mean, they should be up on the leaderboards as well.
Yeah, so in your mind, this is going to incentivize players to play more because there's actually a leaderboard that you can see how good you are at the game. And so your take is this is going to really help push the game forward?
Yeah, for sure. Because, you know, a lot of players just, I mean, they don't think, they just click. And now it adds more depth in terms of the gameplay. So this will be huge in terms of the adjustments and all. But for the ones that have started earlier, I would say that they are still in advantage because they have more energy, especially right now that we are on token migration. So if ever you are on recruitments, you'll be able to get more NFT by recruiting.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think one thing that, you know, I want to bring up is, okay, yes, the seasons, the rewards, kind of the, you know, the idea, just like Splinterlands, that you're climbing up ranks. I think that adds definitely more incentive to play. It adds more interest to me. But one of the things that I'm still concerned about is until they get their new gameplay out, it is still a pretty basic rock, paper, scissors game, right? And so in my mind, and I guess I want to hear from you as someone that plays this game a lot, and you're also a little bit into Splinterlands, but now mostly Samurai Legends, is what do you think incentivizes players to play in Samurai Legends besides, you know, my earnings are more than Splinterlands? Because in my mind, in the current state, Splinterlands is still a better game, and their rank system is pretty similar to Splinterlands, right? So why not just play Splinterlands that has a little more depth to the game? What is it for you that makes you go to Samurai Rising instead, or Legends?
For me, it's more on as you've seen, if you are on silver and in gold, you don't get that much in terms of the value previously in terms of the game. While this one, even if you have what they call this, lower power cards, you still were able to farm of the token. So I would say in terms of the income, it's still better in terms of the income for what they call this, Splinterland. So right now, people, especially in the Philippines, they are more into income, especially when the pandemic hits and people lose their job and all. They don't care about that's why a lot of people from our country right now are into this cryptocurrencies, and we're in there are new projects and all, and then they'll say that the ROI is in within one day, and then they put all their investments, their savings in there, and then later on they know they learn that a rug pull and also I don't know.
Right.
I mean, and then later on they'll blame it on to the content creator. This was covered by Ultimate X. This was covered by Luke. So it's their fault. No, my
Hey,
man.
I haven't recommended any rug pulls yet. Although someone had accused Splinterlands of being a long-term rug pull, which I thought was really funny. Joey in the chat wants to know how much is a general?
I mean the generals, right? That's one thing that I'm looking at right now into the market because after the post that you've shown earlier with Freddy, I've seen a lot of players that are buying the power 10s, and right now previously the power 10s are set on I think 1.89 or lower in terms of BNB. And the prices right now, if one will be sold, I just checked earlier, it will now be the cheapest at 2.6 BNB. Now for the generals, it will always depend on what they call this, the power and the rarity. The generals could be as high as up to 20 BNB each if it's a power 10 with an Akita. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that really makes sense what you're saying of, okay, people in the Philippines are, or countries like this, they're actually playing these games, as we've talked about, to make a living for their family, right? To actually pay their bills, and they're taking money out of this game, right?
Yeah.
So the thing that worries me in a sense about that is, how do you create a sustainable economy if everyone's playing this game to pay their bills and they're consistently pulling money out of the game and not putting money in the game? Like, how is this game's economy surviving? Do you know how that's kind of working for them?
Actually, there will be other mechanics in terms of the game later on. I don't know if this will be included on the patch by next week. But in terms of this one, I've heard about the podcast with the Prism Ranger as well, wherein they talk about the sustainability and all, and the upcoming recruitment system and all, the burning mechanisms and all. So there will be huge adjustments in terms of this one, because basically right now you only need the token INF just for you to have a recruit, but later on there will be other resources. So basically right now they are more into those wherein a lot of things will be incorporated, including the lands gameplay, which will be I think some of the resources from the lands will be needed for you to recruit for some of the samurai. So right now people are really into the recruitment just to have more effective recruitment system before the relaunch.
Gotcha. So Joey in the chat is asking, what kind of ROI is that? So 2 BNB is like 700 plus. Do you have an idea of, he's asking for investment strategy, or do you think there's a good ROI on this game? Is that why people are playing it? Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, shout out to Joey Vince. Actually, for this one, I think we've made a computation for this one on one of your live streams as well. I think it was early morning on our part. If you're starting for the game, the generals or the Genesis NFTs are kind of high in terms of the value. You could start playing the game with just one NFT. And the ROI that we got into the computation is, I think, 20 to 28 days. Actually, we don't talk about the ROI in terms of I haven't made a check in terms of the generals, because all of my NFTs are samurai as well. I think you don't have as well a general, but I'm also planning of having that if ever I'll be able to flip either some of my high power samurai and all. But in terms of this one, I don't see much advantage of having the generals at the moment, so I'm not planning of buying them. But in the near future, I also plan of buying them, but I'm seeing a price value increase of the NFT, so I don't know if I'm still able to get hold of those generals. So in terms of the ROI, I think we've made the computation of this one. During the high priced value, we are set, I think Wolf and I were able to compute up to 50 days. That was in the late of last year that we made the computation. Now when the NFT's value went down for a tier 1 power 1. I think it was set the cheapest during our time when you had the live stream was less than $20. So the ROI for that one we made was around 20 to 28 days, I think.
Yeah. So I'll ask you kind of one more tough question, since this is the NFT gaming roast. And by the way, if anyone wants to, like Ultimate Gaming has done here, you can go to the Discord, throw out a take about your favorite game or game you may want to roast. I don't know. And we can get another project going after this. I kind of want to keep these a little bit to like 15 to 20 minutes. But I think that the difficult question is, and Jason in the chat, he says it like this: sounds like you make your dough in Samurai and then dump it for Splinterlands assets. So I want to know, like, how many people you know that are playing this game and are continually putting money back into the game? Or do you think, like Jason, like there's people out here thinking, okay, I want to play this game so I can earn, and then I'm going to take that and put it into my other favorite game, or I'm going to take that to pay my bills? Because if that's the case, and people are consistently taking out money and then, removing that from the game's economy, eventually their token isn't going to be able to hold up. Their NFTs aren't going to be able to hold up, right? Or do you think there are that many people holding on to these assets because they're ready for the next layer of the game, hopefully out in a month, which looks a little more fun? What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, actually, in terms of that one, there are people that are doing that and all. Especially for the ones that are just starting, because they want to make sure that they have the ROI fast, they don't get scammed and all. They get them hold of their money because they invested around $20 to $100 or up to $200, and they want to have that back to pay some of their bills, because not a lot of players, especially in the Philippines, are really heavy in terms of the investment. But in terms of the whales really that are into the game, they're just really holding on to this, and they're just paying out their scholars, they call this tokens, so that whatever the scholars wants to do with the token, if they want to trade it and buy for the NFTs, or take out into real money and then pay for their bills, that's all. But in terms of I've seen the Telegram group we're in, a lot of the big investors of the game are really holding on to the value of their NFTs, and they're not cashing out, and a lot of them are really looking to have a hold of those power 10. So I'm on the chat most of the time, so I know that the big players really are holding on for the next upcoming update, especially for the lands. The lands will be huge because there will be politics and all. Then you need to be, the demand for the lands will be huge, because it will be like if you I think you were able to discuss a similar gameplays with the lands like Clash of Clans. That will be similar, I think, for the lands, and there will be politics and all. You can make a clan wherein you could reign for a coup d'etat, just to dethrone the one that is sitting on the main city, and then you'll be attacking their bases and all. So that will be kind of more on the upcoming updates and all. But I think for the whales, yeah, they're still holding on to a lot of their huge chunk in terms of this one. And currently they have, if you were onto the Telegram, there are people, the whales, that are recruiting 50 up to 200 teams, sets of trees,
yeah,
that are on recruits on a daily basis. So the whales are really on to the reinvesting in terms of the game. But for the small players, I think some are slowly chunking in, just making sure that they're able to settle their bills and all. And I know also we have a group chat with regards to this one, and there are small players that are reinvesting in terms of the game. I know a player that started with one samurai now has a total of, I think, 19. There is even one player that started with 5. Now with the short span of 1 month, they now have more than 10. So it's just on what the player is currently thinking of, whether to reinvest into the game or immediately cash out just to get for the ROI, and then later on reinvest on whatever the tokens they're getting. So people have different mindsets in terms of the game and all. Now, if you were really into the game that you think will grow, like Splinterlands, and I think also for Samurai Legends, just to tell you, Splinterlands, I haven't cashed out any token. I've unstaked my SPS, which is around, I think, more than 2,000, and then I buy some packs, which I flip, and then buy into. That's what I'm doing. I'm just reinvesting into the game because I don't want to rent anymore. For Splinterlands, I'm in Silver 1. My account is now exactly at 70,000 power. So, if ever there will be huge increase in the prices in the market for the rent, I mean, I'll be happy opening for those 18 end of season reward.
Yeah. Well,
or better than the ones that are on the higher. I don't know. There's the randomness and that's what makes it all interesting. And that goes as well in terms of Samurai Legends, because whenever, even if you open a 0-star crate, if you get a power 10, that will be a huge boost in terms of your account. So I mean,
sorry to cut you off. Yeah, I just kind of want I'm seeing some interesting things in the chat. There's different people and different takes on this game. There's a lot of people that are like, I'm getting weird vibes from it. There's people that are like, Joey's like, can I get in contact? And yeah, you can talk to Ultimate. He's in our Discord. But I think one of the things that is interesting to me is that it's like, okay, the white paper and the deck they showed me for version 2, it seems like it has better gameplay. It seems like it has better tokenomics and things like that. But when I see what they're doing with the game right now, is a little bit concerning to me, because it seems like a lot of tokens are being printed, and then really the most of the token can be used for right now is to simply go recruit more NFTs. So you have a pretty big inflation of the token, and you also have a pretty big inflation of the NFTs. And that's the thing where it's like, okay, can they make and survive long enough to get to that version 2 that's allegedly coming? We don't know exactly. It seems like the dates, last I heard, is going to be pushed a little bit. But that's the thing about this game, is like, okay, a lot of these projects are doing things like this where it's it's a really basic game for now. You build up your stuff and get ready for the second version of the game. My hope for the game is that it just doesn't die off because it's printing so much tokens, and it concerns me when people are saying, okay, I'm making $50 a day in this game. It's like, well, that's a lot of tokens. Like, where's all this money coming from? Especially if everyone's making, $10, $20, $50 a day. That's why in Splinterlands people complain all the time about, like, oh, the rewards are so low, I'm making pennies a day. Yes, but that is also what's helping the game economy to survive. How it's been a project that's been around since 2018, so almost 4 years now. So that's where it's like, okay, I'm a little bit hesitant to just say, like, hey, like, get into this game until I see more of those things of, like, how we actually, wow, I don't know if you guys can hear that. There's a huge plane over there over my garage right now. I think that might be a helicopter. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but essentially I want to see from the game, where are those token burning mechanisms that they're going to add? Where are those NFT burning, or a way to make sure it's not inflating too much? So that's what I'm really asking for from this project. When I if I'm going to criticize it, if I'm going to roast it, is that they really need to implement those things soon, or I'm pretty worried about those things taking place like we've seen with Axie, like we've seen with Pegaxy, all these games that here's a bunch of tokens, here's a bunch of NFTs, and then it starts to unravel from there, right? So that's the only pushback I would have, is saying, it's like, okay, they really need to do these things that they're saying. But yeah, Ultimate, I appreciate your opinions, and I appreciate you jumping on board.
With regards to that one, I could not answer on behalf of the devs, that. I'm also curious with regards to that one and all, but I think they have plans. I think they were able to discuss that the game's not yet, no game is perfect. They also have comparison in terms of Axie and all. That's why they hired Raul, and I forget the other name in the podcast wherein it was hosted by Prism Ranger and all. They know in terms of this one, and they're trying to improve everything. That's why they have dispatch, and on the upcoming updates there will be implementations in terms of that one. That's why even the lands, I think they will incorporate the assets in terms of that one into the upcoming recruit system. So Yeah, currently the burning mechanism right now is only for the NFTs wherein you could recruit. Because right now, I think one NFT samurai, if you want to max out the recruit for a samurai, it will take you around 50,000 INF just to max out the recruit.
Sure.
So that's still huge in terms of that one. But yeah, in terms of the other mechanisms, burning mechanisms of the token, which right now a lot of players are minting, and that I could not answer on behalf of the
Sure.
devs. And
Yeah, well,
that's a
maybe
good-
we'll
good
have to get
question.
a dev on later on. I don't know if they speak English or not, but anyways,
Yeah,
thanks
they
for
do.
thanks
A
for
lot of-
coming on.
A lot
We're
of them
gonna-
are English,
okay,
bro.
Perfect. Well, maybe
Thank
we'll
you,
have to
thank
get
you.
them on. Did we make it back? Did we make it back? Yeah, okay. I think we're back. Man, oh man. The funny thing is I finally got in contact with Comcast. And essentially they said, I don't know, can you guys hear me now? Essentially they said, you are screwed. I don't know. They couldn't work it out. So the thing about Comcast is when you don't work it out with Comcast, they just say, hey, we'll increase your internet speed for free. So they said they're going to increase my internet speed. It will take, 24 hours to come in effect. So that hasn't hit yet, obviously. So I'm hoping for, what's happening essentially with all these streams. And I tried to get Comcast to figure it out. They said, hey, we don't know why. It was like my upload speed will randomly in these streams get cut from 15 upload speed down to like 2, and that's why it's buffering so much. And so they said they'll increase it. It should go up to 20 upload speed. So maybe if it gets cut, maybe it's down to 5 only and it will hold. I don't know. Maybe it'll just go away, but like it's very obnoxious. So I don't know. It's pretty frustrating. Hopefully the extra speed bump will increase and get us to be going a little bit better there. I don't know. Hopefully you guys can hear me and see me now, but I'm doing my best here. And unfortunately, maybe if it keeps happening even with the internet speed, I'll just call them up again and say, guys, you gotta get it going. You got to get it going. Like, what is going on? I'm gonna fire you. I'll have to switch my internet service somehow. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, I think there's no more takes, at least for today, but I'll give you guys another chance here. I can see some discussions going on here in the Discord. If you want to jump in with a take and join the stream, you can. And if not, we'll just talk about the chat, and I'll get your guys' takes here. What other games you want to talk about here? I'm seeing a lot of people saying, Jason's take, I love in the YouTube chat. I feel sorry for you reviewing all these play-to-earn games. They suck. And yeah, I mean, that's That's the one unfortunate thing for sure is like, man, I wish there were more play to earn games that are actually fun, right? I mean, that's the thing that I've been roasting the most is like, I want to see some fun games, not just tokenomics, not just land sales, not just NFTs. I want to find something like Splinterlands. I have had fun with Blankos, although my computer's capping out. I need a new computer to actually play it again. I've had somewhat fun with Gods Unchained, and I've been even enjoying Skyweaver. But the thing that time and time again with all these new projects is like, I want to be excited about new gameplay. And I think we're just going to have to be patient, especially in a bear market. A lot of these projects are slowing down. A lot of these things aren't either being hyped up, or they're hidden behind the scene because we're in a bear market and people aren't as excited about play to earn games. But the thing is, actually, I think in a way that's going to help the market slow down in a bit, where these games can actually develop. The hype of, hey, we're just going to buy up your NFTs no matter what it is. Hopefully that will die down so projects learn we actually have to build a fun game if people want to buy our NFTs, instead of just like, hey, anything that's on the market, people will buy up, even if it's a scam, right? So that's the thing, maybe we can make a comparison that like last year's games that were coming up and finally on the market for play to earn games. Maybe we can compare that to like a Nintendo, like Nintendo, Super Nintendo. Maybe that's the level that they're at. And now we're starting to see games coming out that are more like PlayStation 1. And now, hopefully we're not going to get the next, giant AAA alluvium out right away. But hopefully, at least we can move to like games with like PlayStation 2 graphics, right? That's what I want to see soon. Like, that's my hope for this year, is that there's at least something like that. And you can argue maybe Lost Relics was that. I played a bit of Lost Relics, which if you haven't played it, essentially is kind of like a randomized dungeon crawler. But it does get really grindy and pretty repetitive. But at least, it had good gameplay. But, then you have the flip side of Lost Relics saying, okay, we can't really be blockchain anymore until DOT comes out and brings out this, parachain, because right now all the ETH fees make it so unplayable. So I think there's games that have been developing that were ready as far as gameplay that are running up against, well, when we started developing, the only option was Ethereum, and now Ethereum is just unusable. And now it's like, okay, now there's other games that are putting out on other blockchains that are usable, but now haven't had the time to develop. So I feel like we're kind of in a marketplace for these play to earn games where it's a catch-22, right? It's like either the gameplay is a little bit rough, or the economy is a little bit rough, or the blockchain is a little bit rough. And we're still waiting. Someone's got to be able to do at least one this year, right? Where all three of those can come together. And that's the hard part. We'll see. There are games. Oi. Oh boy. Okay. I think I think I can't handle these streams cutting out anymore, man. This is brutal. So we might just end this experimental show here early today. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we end this experimental show? Next week I think can be better anyways. It's just so it's so freaking obnoxious, man. Hopefully the update with Comcast tomorrow will work out and fix all these streaming problems. If not, I don't know. Maybe I'll just have to move away from Comcast forever and just say, sorry, Comcast, no mo. No mo cardio. Need to get you on fiber. I know. Well, so the funny story is I tried to get on fiber at one point, and essentially they ended up like way overcharging me. It was, and they had horrible customer service, and it was just it was honestly just kind of a disaster when I switched over, and I wanted to be on fiber. So I don't know. It's like, we'll see. Am I blurry? I think that's because, hold on, let me switch webcams here. But yeah, it's just kind of like, why, oh why? Let's see if I can get my webcam back. Nope. Do you guys like my new webcam? It looks pretty good, huh? I kind of think it looks good. Okay, well, I fixed that, and I ruined the stream again. Okay, well, It's been good, y'all. It's been good. It really hasn't been a good stream, but free elevator music. I mean, I should just end the stream and just keep the music going. We could just be like a lo-fi stream where you guys don't even get to see me. It's just the little music in the background. Da-ba-da-ba. Go to a university and stream on their Wi-Fi. Yeah, that's not an option for me. Have I tried out My Master War yet? No, I have not. What is My Master War? Okay, we'll do the last little games here, then I'll probably go. This is oh, trust me, I've rebooted my router and modem like a million times. Yeah, you can probably tell I'm frustrated about this because it's like I've tried every single thing that I know how to do. I tried and then also called Comcast to see what to do, and no solutions besides let's bump up your internet speed, which we'll see if that works tomorrow or not. Oh gosh. Well, okay, we'll talk about a couple more games here because I see some stuff in the chat. Again, this was just an experimental stream, so it's whatever. It's good. I think next week when we get I'm really excited to hopefully get some actual team projects, get in here to interview them. Tasty Gamer is awesome to having you, so we can also have game researchers especially. But I love just hearing and arguing. Like, this is what I love about this stream so far. Like, it's just very experimental, and obviously everything's cutting out and kind of going to poop. But I can already see people just in the chat, whether on YouTube or on Discord, already arguing about games, and that's what I want. It's like not like arguments where like people can just be jerks to each other. That's not what I'm saying. But like where we actually have critical conversations and really think about these projects and debate them and argue about them, right? And we can all have different opinions, and we're all going to put our money, invest in different ones. But the more conversations, the more we can hear from people that are actually invested into a game. I think that's where we're going to get better perspectives rather than me trying to just do like quick overviews. Because like, there's I don't know, maybe 10 projects a day, at least 25 plus projects each week, it seems like. And for me to really cover those and try to get us into projects early, we want to find good projects that we can get into early, because that's, whereas Krills, we could potentially make some big gains. But to do that, we need like the voices of 50 people looking at these things. We don't need just my voice. Like, if it's just my voice, I can pretend all I want that I'm Elio Crypto and I, cover every single project or whatever. I don't know. I don't really watch them anymore. But what I want is like, can we actually hear from the games themselves so that we can get like an understanding and a feel for the game rather than just like, hey, here's the white paper? Or can we get someone from the community who's really interested in game and knows all about it and can explain it to us? Whether people in the chat want to say, yeah, that game sucks, I agree, it's awful, or hey, I heard from that developer, I heard from that game researcher, and that game looks cool to me, I actually might join in. So that's really the whole point of what I want to do. Obviously today is just kind of like a goofy experiment with especially with all these internet problems, but that's what I really hope. As Krills, we are discussing these things, we are taking it seriously, and we're having fun with it at the same time. This is gaming, so it's investment obviously, but it's also gaming, so hopefully we can have some fun at the same time as well. But thank you guys for being here, and we'll maybe look at these last couple games just because people put some stuff in here. So here's War Saga, which I have never heard about, or I've heard about briefly.
I take off with the loot, I don't fumble, and I put it on west while I run up the number. Cracking over me a pack, yeah, I'm about to nuke 'em where they at. If you play the game, then you get the loot. You claiming it now, it's belonging to you. I'm launching no ballistic missile to destroy territory.
Dr. DJ Move. Oh, yeah. What?
Forsaken.
I mean, not a bad trailer, to be honest. Not a bad trailer. I'm curious because a lot of our community, right, is Splinterlands players. So, chat, I want to hear from you guys. If there was another card game that came out that was also just as good as Splinterlands, for whatever reason you like Splinterlands, right? Would you be interested? Or is it like, hey, I'm already invested in Splinterlands. What I want is to find things outside of card games. Because that's kind of my feeling. It's like, okay, Skyweaver is cool and Gods Unchained is cool, But how much time do I have to play Splinterlands and play these 2 other card games? Probably not a ton. And then you got, like Warsaken coming out, like this trailer here. To me, personally, like if I'm just approaching this as a gamer, another card game isn't necessarily what I'm looking for. Not saying this is a bad investment or a bad project to get into. I don't really know much about it besides this trailer and the fact that I think it's on wax, right? But I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts. And another card game, says Mario. So there you go. There can be only one. Yeah, there could be more than one card game, but it's just like how many does this market is it going to be able to handle? Because card games are the easiest things to develop, right? For the most part, you don't need 3D graphics. You don't need, a huge open world thing to be developed. It's pretty simple. You can make the animations like Splinterlands. Honestly, the game itself is pretty simple to watch and to develop, right? Like the strategy is complicated. So I don't know, like I get it that card games are the easiest and it makes sense with NFTs. And there are arguments like how many real world examples of card games are there? There's Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, Neopets had a, I don't know if anyone was a 90s kid, but Neopets had a card game at one point. Like there's been other card games that have, come out and maybe you can argue, I don't know, chat help me out. How many other card games can we think about that are still really popular today besides Magic, Pokemon? I don't even know, is Yu-Gi-Oh even popular anymore? It's just like, I'd like an MMO RPG. I mean, yeah, wouldn't we all? Slyweaver is out. Yeah, Slyweaver. You mean Skyweaver? I do enjoy Skyweaver. I'm not going to lie. I do enjoy it. It's just like, do I have time to play them both? Although I think Skyweaver has a mobile app, and I haven't tried it on mobile yet, so I might try that. Already one card game. Let's move on. NFT RuneScape, take my money. Was up late last night buying BTC cards. Oh, BTC dipped hard buying cards. Got it. Nice. That's okay. I love it. Please peep that game out. Yeah, you want to come on and talk about it, Tasty Gamer? Just join the Discord chat. I closed out of the video link. Join the Discord chat. Let's bring Tasty Gamer back on. Why not? Hopefully internet holds up. I don't know if you're still up for a VC. I'll open up Guild Saga though. I think I looked at yeah, okay, I remember Guild Saga now. This is one of the videos I covered in I think this was a top 5 hottest, or was this a community submitted one? Either way, I was kind of impressed by it. I mean, you all know me, because it's pixel art, I can't be fully impressed by it. But I think that it's definitely interesting that the fact that it's on the Solana blockchain and they actually had some gameplay going for it. Like, even if it's pixel art and all that stuff, like, as someone said in the chat, it's like NFT RuneScape, right? RuneScape is still has players today, right? And the fact that, it's not even quite fully to the look of RuneScape, right? It's not like even that style of graphics. Why can't I make it go full screen here? Can't join the Discord. All right, no worries. Let's watch the trailer again. So yeah, I mean, definitely a thing that's an RPG where you can have the stuff that you earn as NFTs. That's going to be huge. And the gold is crypto. I mean, I think it makes so much sense. Oops. So yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense for a game like this to gain some traction, gain some popularity. I like the fact that it's on Solana because, as I said earlier, the fees and the speed of Solana are super nice for play-to-earn games. Again, this is a project where I'd say, okay, I think for now it could definitely have some play and some popularity from play-to-earn gamers. But will it be enough to attract people outside the play-to-earn world? And as soon as a MMO or an RPG that comes out that's a little bit more appealing and has better graphics, will it last? The other thing that I thought that was like about the game is that I think it's mostly single player, and the multiplayer is, I think you can battle each other if I'm remembering right. I'm trying to remember the white paper off my head, but it also was talking about guilds, but you're not actually like adventuring out with your person. And I think even if it was pixel, even the fact that it's pixel or all those things that I just talked about that maybe other games pass it up, honestly, I think if it just had a multiplayer aspect where you could join in and like play in this open world together, I don't think, if I remember right, that that's what this game has. And that would be something that would be really appealing, because I would play a pixel art RPG if I could join up with my community. If we could stream it and be like, hey, everyone jump into this open world. Like, we're on the blockchain here, playing this game together all at once. Like, that's super hype. But I don't think, maybe Tasty Gamer, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Guild Saga is doing that, at least not right now. What about Luke plays it earn win white paper? Yeah, I mean, I already made my NFT rug pull. It was called Bitcoin Buddies. Anyone want to buy? It's only 1 Bitcoin per buddy. If you buy all 10 Bitcoin buddies, you get the collection bonus and you earn 10% extra of our crypto BB. The unfortunate thing is it costs so much to get here. 1.5. Yeah, 1.5 is, even though it's Solana, I know Solana's dipped a little bit. Like, what is Solana trading at right now? Probably like 130, 150, somewhere around there. That's still going to be a couple $100. And yeah, just mint. Oh, whoa, so never mind. I have not looked at Solana price for a real long time. I didn't even know it fell under 100. That's freaking crazy. Ooh, it's falling right in the support line. So, so that's, I guess, 150, 130 bucks. That's still pretty expensive for a single player RPG. Guild of Guardians, yeah. Joey, I told you to hit me up once Guild of Guardians comes out. I actually own a Guild of Guardians NFT. I forgot what was mine. I think mine's Gwyn. I haven't even looked at what's gone on lately. But Guild of Guardians looks like a fun game. The only thing that I'm not super bullish on is that so far they've only talked about it being on the phone, and I think a game like this would be way better on PC, for me at least. So that's the one part where I'm like, okay, it looks kind of fun, looks good. Dungeon crawlers, yeah, thumbs up for me. I like those types of games. But if I can't play it on my PC and I'm stuck playing it on my phone, I think that's going to get old quickly to me. So that's the one part that I'm a little bit hesitant to say that I'm actually bullish on this game. I do own an NFT though, and I bought it honestly before I was even making content. This is like one of the games that I found, oh boy, it was like maybe in June or July of last year. I don't know. But the fact that they do have loot, trading, guilds, all those stuff, I think that's going to be fun. You can sync up with your friends. So yeah, I think if anyone else gets into this game, I have no idea what the NFTs are going for right now. Last time I looked, this was months ago. I think it was like 130, so it was a little steep even then. I think I got mine luckily for like 60 bucks, but I don't know if I would go out and buy an NFT if it's more than $100 now. I don't even know. Doesn't even know what the, let's see if we can go to the store. Partner sale. Well, you can get this legendary hero for $350. Actually, no, it's sold out. What kind of airdrops do we get by holding Crypto Buddy? It's not Crypto Buddy, it's Bitcoin Buddies. And the airdrop is going to be, it's going to be the Crypto Krill. Krill. And the cool thing is, if you're holding and getting airdropped Crypto Krill, you also get a bonus NFT of my face. So if you if you want this face here dropped to you as an NFT, then you're going to need to be holding 1 million Krill tokens. And the only way you get 1 million Krill tokens is, again, you really got to be holding those 10 Bitcoin buddies, earning that 10% bonus for probably at least 2 years. Just saying. Don't you have an alpha since you have NFT? Did the alpha start already? Again, I haven't been following Guild of Guardians much lately. Guild of Guardians lives in Ukraine. Oof. Yeah, it's Tasty Gamer. We were talking about that before. We didn't get a chance to talk about it online, but he was saying that same thing for Tiny Colony. It's like, man, some of these projects that have people, you know, I feel so bad for all of Ukraine, but you know, the fact that it's also affecting some of their projects is going to be really interesting. You know, hopefully they can remain safe, and hopefully that whole awful situation can, you know, somehow be resolved. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be, for the projects that they're trying to help create and build, might slow some of them down. I don't know. Same problem Illuvium is going to have. Is Illuvium only on phones? I thought it was on PC. Or you're saying more people have, I see what you're saying. More people have phones, so it gives more people access. I mean, I don't have any problems with games being on the phone. I think more games should be like Fate and Arena, where it's, hey, we have a mobile version, but we can also be playing on the desktop. I think that's what a lot of games are going to need to move to. Oh, Mambata Waka Flocka, let's go. I made a tweet earlier. You can get on this deal. You can get on this deal, Sugar Mom. So, I don't know if you saw this. Let's see if I can pull up the tweet. Okay, so here's the deal that I'm offering, in case you guys wanted to know. Looking to trade an embarrassing middle school photo of myself as an NFT. I haven't created it yet, but if someone's interested in giving me a Waka, I will figure out a way to get my embarrassing middle school photo as an NFT, and I'll trade it for you. What is the embarrassing, you know, middle school NFT of me do? Well, when we hit 1 million subs in 30 years from now, I will give you $20. How about? Does that sound good? So yeah, Sugar Mom, let me know what you think about that deal. I'm sure it's pretty tempting, right? Oh gosh, good stuff. I did anyone else get a match yet against Waka Flocka or Waka Spirit Blade? I had one match today and I almost beat it. Because I don't think they were playing it right. It was an equalizer match and they were only targeting my front line. It was like, you could be poisoning my entire team right now, and they were only poisoning my front line. I still lost, but I almost beat Waka Spirit Blade in my first matchup. It was it was like a 3 HP difference, I want to say. Oh gosh. Bitcoin buddies, what the heck did I buy then? I don't know. What did you buy? To buy him real internet. There we go. Domi Online seems like a cool concept for an NFT game. All the BCP for real internet. Yes, that sounds great to me. Okay, Domi Online. Let's look at this sucker. Play to earn 3D blockchain MMO RPG underpinned by NFTs. Well, that was a mouthful. No skill cap, no level cap. Play to earn MMO RPG. Wow. No level cap. So you can go just be like a level 1589 wizard. That's cool. I mean, at least I can see some of the gameplay here. It looks like it's still... I mean, it looks fairly developed. I would say this is kind of getting close to what EverQuest looked like 20 years ago. For a blockchain game, that's not bad. Complete epic quests with your guild. Do they have a roadmap? Here we go. Gameplay mechanics, player movement. When is this out? Develop main menu, game sounds, user account settings. Alpha release Q3. So that's not too far. This could be a decent game in 6 months from now. I'll have to look into it more after the stream. Is anyone else into this? Tasty Gamer was the one that said it, right? Gank got a gold foil walk alive. Ooh. All right. Well, this was just a good test stream. Unless Ashley wants to come in. Ashley, do you want to come into the Discord? You said you wanted to roast some NFT games. Ultimate Crypto Warrior, what's up? What's up? Playable win. It looks like it says alpha in Q3. I don't know. The one thing that I always get worried about with alphas is that usually you have to buy the NFT and get into the game like super early and buy in for, you know, a lot of these projects are like, hey, you know, mint our NFTs for $200, $300, $500 and then you can get into the alpha. So I don't know if that's what this game is doing. I don't see any informations yet. Maybe it's in the, well, I don't see a white paper. Let's watch the trailer though. Plant versus Undead. No, Ashley, the point of this show in the future is that you have to come into the Discord. See, you have to come into the Discord. Come into the waiting lobby here. I'll pull you in, and then you get to roast Plants versus Undead, and I get to either agree or disagree, and chat gets to agree or disagree. Oh, you actually got into a rug pull? Oof. I'm sorry. I always, yeah. Rug pulls, man, it always feels... Nothing feels worse than a roast rug pull. I haven't been in a rug pull, but I did get into a game that completely crashed to nothing. AKA our planet. Ooh, Joey's got a hot take. Alluvium's going to tank hard. Why do you think that? Crypto Warrior, I haven't finished the stream yet, obviously, but we had a lot of internet issues, and this was just kind of a trial test. But I'll hang out with you guys a little bit longer if you want to talk more games. Necro and I hijacked the Discord. That's fine. You guys can talk there. I'm not reading all your messages there, but... I don't know. This Domi Online sounds interesting. Tasty Gamer, I think this is definitely one that we need to put on the researchers team's radar and do a little bit more research on it. I think a lot of people are looking for MMOs. Sweet. All right, well, I want to hear the opinion. Alluvium's gonna tank hard. So Joey, I know you probably can't come on to the call, but why is Alluvium going to tank hard? Let's see the crypto price. I haven't looked at the price for a while yet. So, still Alluvium is one of the few games that hasn't hit all-time lows yet. A lot of games have hit all-time lows, and it's not just the fact if a token goes up or down, if the project's actually doing well, right? Because we're in a bear market or bull market, that's going to change the price of a token. That doesn't mean it's a good project or it's going to tank hard if it's going down in the bear market. But is it interesting to see that there's still a lot of people buying up and keeping it from being an all-time low? I mean, it's starting to head that way, but look, compared to like Gods Unchained, woo, Star Atlas, my tokens, woo. To be fair, I think I bought my Star Atlas tokens back here when it was like 8 cents. And I've been putting them in liquidity pools. So I've probably like matched what I've put in from what I got back out of the liquidity pools, maybe. What other tokens are hitting all-time lows? Axie still not. Sand still not, right? But yeah, a lot of these tokens are down at the bottom of the bay. I haven't even looked at Alluvium's website for a while. I'm still waiting for Joey to tell me why is Alluvium going to tank hard. Has anyone seen like a gameplay trailer out yet for Alluvium? That's what I've been waiting for. I know they put out like some hype trailers, but I want to see just like a gameplay trailer. Does anyone know if there is one out there yet? Because I think that's like I've seen a lot of these cool trailers of like, hey, here's what the world looks like, right? But from my memory, I didn't see much of like, here's the actual gameplay. check Discord for the Illuvium tank. What's in their Discord? PVU is the same dev as Plants vs. Zombies, that game? No, I don't think it's the same developers. I think it's someone that essentially just ripped them off. Like, that's the thing, Illuvium has a giant team. They can make crazy trailers like this. But what I want to know is, like, what is the gameplay for real gonna look like? Like, this scene, right, is pretty cool. But that's not what the gameplay is going to look like. Am I still playing Axie? No, I essentially told the amazing community member that was delegating me their Axies, I said I just don't have time anymore. Especially with SLP. I mean, I really sucked at the game, and the Axies were pretty floor Axies, so it was pretty hard to win. And when they removed the adventure mode, it was like, okay, well, the only thing I was good at earning was the adventure mode, which is probably why they took it away, right? So at that point, I was like, I'm not going to sit here and play, 20 ranked matches a day to earn, I don't know, my 25 cents. I didn't have the time for it. You told us to roast in Discord. Oh, I see. No, I meant if you're going to join the stream on call. You can roast things in the YouTube chat. I just meant like if you're going to join the call. Do you notice after Illuvium got bot hacked for amount they never announced, they started promoting all their NFT mint programs? Ah. I honestly didn't even know they got hacked. How much did they get hacked for? That's a big yikes. Sorry, Joey. I did not explain myself very well. What I meant is put your take in the Discord if you want to join the show live, and I'll bring you in on the call. But chat, you can still chat in the YouTube, and that's where I'll read things. So I that was my bad. I did not explain that well enough. So you're right. You're right. Let's see. Someone else said Entropy Universe before. Entropy Universe. We can join the call. Correct. Yes. That's the whole point of this stream. That's not what I want. So what you need to do, if you want to join the call, we'll get there. This is just a bad test today, but we'll get there. This is just kind of for fun. What you do, join the Discord, go to your take, go, hey, this is what I think is going to happen. Axie is going to recover. It's going to be an amazing game. Just hold on. Or you can say, hey, whatever X game that's coming out next year, Illuvium, like Necro Knight was saying. Illuvium is going to crash. It's overrated. Tell us why. And then if I see that, then you can join the waiting lobby and I'll bring you into the live stream call. And we can just debate all day long and roast in a good way. We can give some praise to these games and these projects, because a roast can be tasty, that can be good, or it can be like a roast of like, hey, here's some critical thoughts of why we should be concerned about this project or what this project needs to do, maybe to get better and to improve itself so that it survives. So that's what obviously this was like a last second thing, that this is just a test of what the potential future show will actually be like. So hopefully I explained it a little bit better that time. I sucked at PvP and Axie. Yeah, me too. I threw so many games. It was embarrassing every time I streamed it. It was a mess. All right, Entropia Universe. Sci-fi MMORPG. Real cash economy experience. Okay. Live on Twitch? Are people already playing this game? Kind of looks... Wait a minute. Is this the game that someone else showed me that looked just like Lost Relics? I don't think... Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Let me see. Because I can't remember, but there was a game that someone was trying to get me to promote. And when I looked at the characters in the game, it was legit just lost relics made into a like 3D world. And I was like, what the heck? This is this is not your assets. So I don't know if, I can't remember what game it was. Maybe it wasn't this at all. I wonder if they have media. Here we go. Okay, I'm not seeing the monsters. Never mind. Maybe it was a different project. Oops. Hot take, Axie was lame from the beginning. Yeah, I think we all know that. I don't know. I don't think that's a hot take. I want to look at the gameplay. Do they have a trailer out?
G'day gang, Dan here. How you?
I mean, you know, the fact that people are already playing this game, that's kind of cool. I haven't heard about this. Who was the one that recommended me this game? Why can't I remember who said anything about this game? A 12-hour Town Star live stream? Can you imagine just watching me farm for 12 hours? Like, what would we what would we do? During Vulcan's recent interview with Kieran, he was saying they asked an economist what they should set their prices for. He told the economist he wanted it to be 20 per gate and 10 to 20 per ball. $2 to $3, you can tell by his facial expressions he did not look happy. That's awesome. He got roasted by an economist. Oh, that's so great. Phantom Galaxy, I want to do a video on Phantom Galaxy. Oh, gravity pushes. Got it. You're not forgettable. I just couldn't see where the chat was. It was further up in the chat than I thought it was. You're not forgettable. Come on. Nah. Don't do that to yourself. That's not nice. Be kind to yourself. Watch this before playing. I mean, yeah, again, this kind of looks like a game maybe you can argue 15, 20 years ago, but that's better than most blockchain games. So it's like a MMO where you can shoot the monsters, but it doesn't look like they're actually shooting. It looks like it's just kind of like an MMO where you just click and attack. I mean, if they could keep developing it from here, this doesn't look horrible. Beta is coming soon. I should email them. Yeah, I mean, if you guys haven't looked at Phantom Galaxy, I don't know if they would. I don't know if I'm big enough that they would actually care. When they already have people like Crypto Stash covering it. I don't know, maybe it's worth a shot, right? And good internet. Okay. Are you in the Discord call? Are you talking about for next week? Oh, next week. Yeah, we're going to do the roast on Thursdays. I'll try to give everyone a little more heads up for next week and get some takes beforehand. Like, we set it up for Tasty Gamer and that was great, and I want to do more of that. Yeah, next week would be great. You gotta... Do you like DeFi Kingdoms, or are you roasting it? Are you roasting it in a negative way or in a positive way? Play to earn survival game, kind of like PUBG. Well, I'm gonna make a video about how Fortnite becomes an NFT game. Do you guys think that video would be interesting? Anyone would watch that? It's more not just for you guys, but it's more of like I want to make a video about how Fortnite could become an NFT game, and then this is like my concept is like, hey, my friend who doesn't understand NFT gaming at all, if I can explain in the video why it would, how it would work and why it would be beneficial, and then just like show it to my friend who knows nothing about blockchain, nothing about NFT gaming. I'm like, hey, you all play Fortnite, like think about this. Like, what if you're playing Fortnite and you're actually like, spending your like 50 hours a week like you do, but you're making $200 a month or something, something like that. So we'll see. I'm currently editing it. It's taking me a little bit longer than I thought it would, but I think it'd be fun. All right. Come on anytime. Well, Tasty Gamer, you can definitely be a regular caller, especially being on the gaming research team. Neighborhood Alive. I don't think I feel like that was one I heard about on my NFT gaming list. That was, hey, Zulijan, what's up? I feel like it's been picking up steam lately, but I can't remember which one it is. Is it on Play to Earn? I like how I said I was going to end the stream like a half hour ago, and now I'm just like randomly chit-chatting with everyone. It's kind of cool. Kind of chill. Neighborhood. I feel like I saw it on Play to Earn. Maybe I'm... Oh, Alice. Got it. Got it. Yeah, Alice has been around for a long time. I haven't looked into it for a while because when I looked into it originally, it looked very bland. So maybe they've added some things. My Neighborhood Alice. Is this what you're talking about, right? I don't know. Just like when I saw it, it's not that I'm against... what's the game called? Animal Crossing. Thank you. Animal Crossing. I played a bit of Animal Crossing. Okay, this is a little more than what I saw last time. I mean, I think especially if it's like Animal Crossing where you can go visit your friends and there's a multiplayer aspect to it, then I could see it working out. Still a lot of people play Animal Crossing. I think they can make the humans look a little bit cleaner. But yeah, I mean, there's potential, Animal Crossing. If you think about Animal Crossing as an NFT game, it's really interesting because think about how many people, in Animal Crossing are all about like, hey, let me get not NFTs, like in-game items to make my land look cooler or my apartment look cooler. So you could just make all those things NFTs. The one thing I hate about those types of things though, like looking into metaverse projects, I know this is a little bit different than My Neighbor Alice, right? Hey, Dwayne video coming up next. Might as well watch it. One of the things that I hate about like looking into, it was like Second Life for a B&B metaverse. I'm not saying My Neighborhood Alice is necessarily a metaverse like that, but it was like, okay, I can buy an apartment and I think it was like half a B&B. So I'm spending, at the time, like $250 to buy an apartment. And then to buy one item, it was like 0.03 B&B, which isn't crazy. But it was like, okay, every item I'm going to be adding to my apartment is like another $20-$30. And I'm just like, okay, especially a game like My Neighborhood Alice, like if you're comparing it to Animal Crossing, those NFTs have to be either earned or pretty cheap. Like if you're gonna dress up your house and trade NFTs and earn them, then they gotta be like, pennies, not freaking, hey, I have this cool apartment in this metaverse and to buy a lamp, it's $50. It's like, that's how much a lamp costs in real life. Why do I want this lamp here in my metaverse apartment? Like I guess I'm just not that bullish on like this whole, we're all going to be living in the metaverse in 5 years and it's going to be this like utopia. And I think that somehow like that's in everyone's minds, is like Ready Player One is coming. Ready Player One is coming. And it's like, did we not read Ready Player One? Did we not watch Ready Player One? It wasn't like everything was so peachy in Ready Player One. Like there's negative aspects, like just showing like how lonely the world got when it was like living in the metaverse potentially. And so, you know, there's things about the metaverse that are like, yeah, it's like kind of a cool concept, but there's things like we should also be a little bit concerned about just being like, yeah, we're all going to be living in the metaverse. Like there's some real big implications to that on things like mental and social health. Like what does that do to our brain? I don't know. Like anyways, I'm going like way off track here, but I guess I'm supposed to be roasting, so this is fine. But it's just like, I don't know. I'm not going to pay $50 to put something in my metaverse apartment. You know, to put a $50 lamp in my metaverse apartment. It's not what I'm going to do. And maybe the world does head to like some kind of crazy virtual reality metaverse that everyone's forced to live in because the world just goes to crap in 10 years. I don't know. Maybe I'll buy a $50 metaverse lamp then, but I don't think you can convince me right now that buying a $50 metaverse lamp is worth it. I like how you had everything playing on the internet said no. I know, right? Comcast is like, stop streaming, you suck. All right, our faded glory, thank you. Yeah, we'll talk about the guild soon. Let's get it going. You don't have to clean it. That's true. That's true. Everyone was living on hoods piled on top of each other. Exactly. There's already a multi-million-dollar asteroid in Entropia. I'm not saying it sucks. Just saying. Like, to a multi-million-dollar asteroid? Whew. You sign leases with other players and they have to pay you to use your land. Heck yeah, baby. You want to step on my land? Give me that money, baby. Shill it out. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know how you do that well. Gonna be a minimalist in my metaverse apartment. Yeah, you and me both, Mario, for sure. All right. Well, can you say hi to my son? Oh, hi, Jasper. How's it going? What up? Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for watching. I like your name, Jasper. That's a cool name. How old is Jasper, if you don't mind sharing? You don't have to share. That's totally fine. But I love talking to youth and children. It's so much fun. Minds of Dalnaria yet? Dig Dug browser game. No, I have not. And someone else also said, what was the other one? Mini Nations Royale. Okay. Crypto FPS. Woo. Again, blockchain graphics. Not quite there yet. But you know, it could be worse. We've seen much worse. Let's see. Does it actually show the gameplay here? I mean, this is like a game that looks about 20 years old. But again, that's just kind of where we're at in this space. I mean, if they can keep improving upon it. It's kind of cool that they've already, are attempting the Battle Royale, though. Just turned 7. Oh, awesome. Well, you're on your way. What is that? I think 2nd grade. So 7 years old. That is a great age to be, Jasper. Awesome stream. Going to drive. Everyone have a good night. All right. Well, I think that's probably a good space to end anyways. Again, next week I'll have this much more planned. This was more I just wanted to test out. But really the hope of this stream each week is that we can bring in people that have really researched a game or even a part of the game's team, that we can ask some questions, either the chat can or I can, and we can really hear from people that are really knowledgeable about these projects rather than me looking at a project and saying, hey, I looked at this project for a half hour. Here's what I think. You know, I want to talk to people who are like, man, I'm either a part of this game developing it, or I've looked into this game and I've been researching it for, 50 hours. And then we can ask them questions, pick their brain, just like Tasty Gamer, with Tiny Colonies. I'm sure you've been researching that game. You're going to all their AMAs, and, I can't do that alone, right? I'm not going to be able to look at 100 projects and spend 50 hours in each of those projects. So let's keep this thing going next week. Hopefully we'll be a little bit more consistent, especially with the internet. But tomorrow I'll see you guys on the ZenSports stream. So tomorrow is week 7. I'm super hyped because we have 4 spots left to qualify for that $1,000 prize pool. And then the next week is going to be the actual final. So we've been doing this tournament for a long time. Over, now this is week 7, which is crazy. We're going to have some special guests, including Ashley, which is going to be hype. A couple pack giveaways here and there as well for Splinterlands. So you'll want to be there tomorrow. It's always the same time. East Coast, it's 4 to 7 p.m. My time, it's on the West Coast, 1 to 4 p.m. And I believe in UTC, that is 9 p.m. to midnight UTC. So, ZenSports paying the bills. Zip, hooray for ZenSports. Let's freaking go. So if you have another game, save your take for next week. We'll have more call-ins. We'll be a little bit more organized, and it should be a lot of fun. Thank you guys for just being here to test this out. Again, this was just a test. And honestly, the part with Tasty Gamer and Ultimate Gaming was pretty fun, and I loved the conversation that it started. And then obviously the internet problems kind of fell off here, but that's fine. We're just testing out the concept, and next week I'm sure will be even better. So see you guys tomorrow at the ZenSports tournament. I hope everyone has a great night. Thanks for coming. Peace out. Pa'alam. Adios. Have a great